Hello, everyone. My name is Katy of Greenland Quilter. Welcome, welcome. I don't know where my guest is. This will be the second time that someone hasn't shown up for a live, so I'm not sure what to say about that, other than that makes me look bad. So I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, so let me say hello to everybody in the channel. Hi, Denise. Hi, Donnell. Hi, Glenda. Hello, Frank from Florida. Hello, Robin. Hello, Laura Sup. And hello, Cherry. So how is everyone today? Post in the channel how your day has been today. I hope it's been good. Uh yeah, but this is twice in a row and I'm getting concerned when people don't show up. No. Um I'm a stickler for communication and if I'm not going to show up, I will let someone know within a few hours or a day before that I wasn't going to show up. I just wouldn't leave you high and dry because that's not my nature. Please don't take this as me griping. It's more that I'm frustrated because this is the second live in a row where someone hasn't shown up. So anyway, let's get on with things. Hi, Mary. So what I'm going to do is work on, try to finish that last row of my, or sew the rows together for my pillow top. So we'll get that done today. I'm pretty sure I'll have it finished tonight. And then if I finish this, just this part, then what I'll do is I'll start working on some more of my little X's over here. We'll work on some more of those as well. And yeah, so tell me how everybody's day's been and how you're doing. Let me know how you've been, what's been going on. And we're going to go ahead and start sewing. I'm going to sew the first row to the second row, and then we'll sew the third row after that. And then you'll be able to see what the whole piece looks like. Hi, Patty. And looks like I need to, uh-oh, I need to turn my iron on. And then it looks like I might have to press some stuff at it. So as y'all know, those who have been watching, I this particular block is being done with me nesting seams. Normally I press them open so that I can have a flat seam. So here's what I'm running into. Now I have to turn one of these seams in a different direction, and since they're already sewn and pressed in the direction they're in, that means every seam on here is going to be weird. So I don't know what to do about that. Okay, let me get this keyboard out of the way. Move my mousey so that I can get this laid out properly. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over to the iron and just gently press some partial the other direction. So let me get that done. Yeah, that one's going to be pushed in the other direction too. I'm pressing these seams in the direction I need them to be in so I can match them or try to nest them anyway without ending up with bulk. So we're going to go ahead and pin these together, and I'm going to try to get these points as close together as I can get them. Hi, Jackie. Katie, I came in to I don't know where Sassy's at, Patty. She hasn't shown up. This is the second live in a row where someone hasn't shown up. So I don't know what's going on. All right, let me see. Denise says, I'm good today, did Erin, so now I'm going to sew and just listen. Mary says, taking a break from work in the yard, finally have nice weather. Donald says, just my usual working. Patty says, went to the eye doctor and my eyes are dilated, hard to see. It's 88, going to be 98 today. Wow, that's pretty hot. And I hope your eyes clear up soon, Patty. Robin says, hi, Pat. I took my mom to the eye doctor. Same for her. Did they put the yellow dye in your eyes also? You know what the yellow dye is for? It's to see if your your tear ducts are producing the fat that's required to lubricate your eyes. I've had that done to mine because my eyes are no longer producing the lubricant that should be doing. So that's why it feels like I have sand in my eyes sometimes. Hi, honey. My guest hasn't shown up yet, babe. Oh no, what's the deal here? Okay, I'm just okay. Let's see if we can't get these pinned together. This pattern didn't tell you which way to press your seams. And I think I made a bad decision thinking I could nest this properly. All right, let me see what I can do. It's going to take me a few minutes to get all this stuff where to line up like it's supposed to. So what is everybody working on, or what has everybody been working on this week? What you been making in between life and stuff? All right, let's see if I can't get this thing lined up right. Hi, Robin. What have y'all been working on this week? Uh, Jackie says 106 and feet. Oh, wow, that is hot. Ooh. Patty says she finished her queen quilt and then took a week break. Sounds like a good plan, Patty. Laura says, I pieced together a quilt top and need to get motivated to do the borders. Yeah, I don't really like doing borders, but they're necessary. I know that. All right. Look. We're gonna have a zillion pins in here, I think. Trying to get all of these seams to line up properly while not cutting off points, because I don't want to cut off the points. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm basically just pinning row 1 to row 2 and while trying to get everything lined up properly. Hi, Lorraine. It was 98 degrees at 9. Wow, Robin, that's pretty freaking hot for early in the day. Looks like summer's going to come roaring in like a lion. Frank, cut the strips crooked or slant it, and you'll get wonky. So I while I'm pinning this, and we'll talk some more about this pillow. Um, I sat down and read the directions in the book on what there's 2 different ways that I can make a pillow out of this. And I think I'm going to do the one where you make the pockets so that I don't have to deal with a zipper or anything else, because I'd rather not, because it's been a long time since I put a zipper in anything. I mean, I haven't forgot how to do it. It's just I don't want to do it, put it that way. So I think I'm going to do the pocket style. And yeah, I think that's what I want to do. Get all these pins pinned properly where I can sew this together. Okay, now they're pinned. Let's hope for the best here. All right. Uh-oh, Nico, stay out of sight. What does that mean? Stay out of sight of what, you guys? All right, got our stitch set to the 1/4 inch. All right, let's get this sewn together. Okay, we got this sewn together. Let's have a look at the seams to see if they matched up. Hey, Andrea. Well, it looks like I got 3 seams to fix. Get them lined up. I think that I would rather do open seams to these nesting things. There seems like there is so much bulk here where the nesting is going on as the versus when you're doing open seams. I'm not convinced yet, you guys, that it's worth the extra effort. Especially when it comes to lining up these seams. Because we have like three or four seams going into one spot. Okay, let's get this first one fixed. Okay, let's try one more time to line these two seams up properly. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Joy T. Frank says it's going to get hotter this weekend, they say. They say that this year's going to be even hotter than it was last year. And I can tell you that it's been pretty warm here the last couple of days. And we're seeing a lot of fog because of it. These big fog banks, they're huge when they're created, and they're created because of the ice cap is one temperature. The water surrounding the country is a different temperature now that the cold water and warm water have switched positions in the ocean. So now we have the warmer water sitting on top and the colder water down deep below the ocean. And then there's the atmospheric air, and it's at a different temperature. And then you have the really up in the atmosphere one where it's cold. All of these combine together and they make this huge fog bank. All right, let's try sewing this one together first. I just need to finish lining up a couple pieces on it so it all lays down the way it should. Okay. Hi, Glenda. You could do a live meeting, invite us to join. Uh, Thank you, Patty, for expanding on that. Okay, do you mean give you the link so you can log on? Fog scares me. It must be hard on the boat Nico is in. Katie, how it's scary. The fog is like when I took the dogs out around 1 o'clock this morning for their last nighty potty patrol. The fog had come across the lake, and so it had enveloped all of us in this fog. So when you're standing out there waiting on the dogs to do their business, you can feel water droplets hitting you in the face. That's how thick the fog was. As far as fog in boats, they have electronic equipment that helps them with all of that. Right, honey? I have taken some pics where we fish, Pat. Right now, they're not fishing at all. Okay, let's have a look at this scene that I redid. Huh, much better. Now let's go fix the next one that's not lined up right. This one's fine. This one looks like it's okay. That one isn't. Okay, so the one where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seams coming all into one spot. All right, let's pick this part of this seam out so that I can realign it. Realign it is what I meant to say. Hi, Nancy. How are ya? Good to see you. Good to see all of y'all. I think this pillow is going to look really cool when it's all the way finished. What do you guys think? Do you like the colors? It's going to look really cool when I have both rows sewn together so that you can really see the design of the whole block. Come on, let me rip the seam out. I'm sticking the seam up underneath the light of my sewing machine so I can see what I'm doing. Because the lights I have is just not enough. Okay, got the seam out. Now let's get it cleaned up so that I don't have any thread sticking out anywhere. Using my little trusty tweezers. It makes grabbing the thread easier. Okay, now what I'm going to do is reline this seam also, and then we'll re-sew it and see what happens. Yeah, they have really good equipment. There's no reason for them to run into each other unless, of course, they leave the bridge and let things get out of control. Like last year when that ship hit Nikolai's ship. Turned around so I can see the other side of this. Make sure we're still lined up. And I'll take that out there. Okay. Let's get you back under the needle. Okay. Let's have a peek. Much better. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go take it over to the iron and press it, and then I'll show you row 1 with row 2. part of it. And I'll go ahead and cut fabric and get it all prepped and ready to go, along with what I'll do with this first. So there's 2 steps to this pillow. The first step is I've got to quilt the front of it, which is this is the front. And when I get it quilted, then I will I'll probably quilt it on a live so you can watch me quilt it. And then the following week, we will put the whole thing together. I already have the fabric pre-cut and ready to go, along with the pillow form that's going to go inside of it. And then we'll just do it on a live and it'll be all finished. Okay, so let me go ahead and get the bottom one, and let's see what I've got to do about aligning that row. Because I might have to turn seams in a different direction. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. That one's okay. That one isn't. All right. So I only have one that looks like I'm going to have to turn it, except for with the exception of what's on the corner. Ah, this one's going to nest. Good. Good, good. So we don't have to worry about that one. So I'm going to go ahead and pin it. Both corners first. I'll go ahead and do that first because then I have all these seams I need to line up. And then the front of it will be done as far as the rows being done. So let me go ahead and I'm going to start with nesting it. I think I would like to start with the center first. That way I can work my way out from the center. Try to avoid any wonky stuff, along with trying to get these all to line up properly. We're going to nest the next seam. I can't get over how when you once you hit that third seam coming together at a point with 3 or more, it gets really bulky. All these have split triangles. Definitely keep you on your toes. But I think it's going to be a pretty little pillow. And it definitely has that fall vibe to it. But no one says you can't have it out here all year round. I will be leaving it sitting out, I think. Okay, we've got this side done. Let's go over to the other side and get that lined up, and then I'll turn it around and do the other side. All right, let's get it turned around. I'm going to do the other side because I want to make sure I get them all lined up right. I also think I'm going to show you a Cotton Cuts box I got the other day with the other boxes. And it has boutiques in it. Back in May, they every month Cotton Cuts will show you or give you a sneak peek of what could potentially be either in a classic cut box or in a modern maker box. And um, and you know, if you like that fabric line, then you know you don't have to write back and say whatever you want to, asking them to make sure that you get some because you're going to get some. But this past May, they were showing off some really beautiful batiks, and so I asked them to put, you know, I gave them a list of colors of the ones I wanted for my classic box, but something happened with the box, and it ended up they had to replace it, so it doesn't have all the colors I would have originally got. Okay, so I'll have it pinned. All right, what am I missing? Nice bright colors, love the colors, pretty, very colorful, love it. Is it a pillowcase or for a sofa? It's a pillowcase. It's going to be a pillow for a where you put a pillow. When you put an insert pillow inside of it, this will be the cover that'll go on the outside of the pillow. Not a pillow like you sleep on, but like for the sofa or for decoration on your bed in front of your other stuff. If you make your bed up, I never make mine, so what's the point? I'll put it on my sofa though and show it off. I do have a chair also that I could set it in if I wanted to. All right, let's get this sewn. Okay. Hi, Lori. Yeah, pillow form. That was the word I was looking for, Mary. Thank you. I don't know why I haven't made pillows. You know, I remember a time when I was younger and I was crocheting and sewing a little bit. And I can tell you, I used to make pillows. So I don't know why I haven't bothered to make any pillows um, since I've been here in Greenland. A lot of it has to do with it. I don't, I don't know. I just don't spend tons of money decorating the house, put it that way. Of course, now quilting is definitely spending tons of money. All right, let's get this pressed and then I'll show it to you. Nora, stop. Okay, we have this going in all kinds of directions. So I want this to actually go. Ouch! Iron is very hot. Now we're going to press it on the front side of it too. because I want it to be nice and yummy looking. Almost there, you guys. Okay, the front of it is done. What do y'all think? I'm thinking about maybe putting a small border around it. What do you guys think? Although I'm not sure that I could find any fabric. I don't know if I have any fabric close enough to put a border around it. Do you think it needs a border, or you think I should leave it without one? What say you? Everybody's saying it's beautiful, it's cute, it looks nice. That is going to make a very pretty pillow cover, Andrea says. Frank says it's very cool. Mary says it looks good. A border. Okay, what color border do you think I should choose for it? White? So now we have this one finished as far as the front. So here's my plan. My plan is that I will get some batting cut, and I have it just, I think I'm gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna use for the back side for the quilting of it. It calls, if you go by the book, it says to use muslin. But I don't have muslin laying around. So actually, I don't have any muslin, ouch, at all. So I'm just going to use fabric, white border. Depends on the size of the pillow form. The form's going to have to fit this because it's pretty big. Okay, border. People are saying border. All right. I was thinking white border also. That way you can like make your eye stay on this instead of strung out. Joyce says, I agree with Mary. White. Okay. So this is the finished front. And what I'll do for the next live is I'll go ahead and get this put into a sandwich and pre-cut the fabric for the rest of the pillow, along with digging out stuffing that I have in one of my storage units or storage container inside the cold room of filler to put in the pillow. And then I'll probably just take some fabric to make the pillow form with and stuff it, and then then on a live, we'll get all of it put together. Okay. See you later, Kelly. What size is your pillow form and the pillow top? Hang on a minute. Let me go get the book. Okay, let's see what the sizes are. Uh, the I should okay. As far as the pillow top is 18.5 inches squared. Okay, so there's that. Um, and then the back, which I'm going to do the envelope pillow back. I have to cut, which takes about a half a yard. So I'll be cutting two 13.25 by 18.25 rectangles. And then with the right sides down, I'll be pressing one side of the 13.25 by 18.25 pillowback rectangle along the 13.25 side toward the center, 1 inch twice and press. So I'll be doing that. And then top stitch using, it tells you to top stitch it. And then you're gonna layer the pillowback units and overlap them by 4 inches from the center and raw edges on the outside, pin in place, and then you make an envelope pillowback, and that goes on there. So it walks you through it. There's three styles of pillowbacks. You have the style where it's the envelope, like what I was talking about. This style right here. Then you have the style down here where you can cut a shirt out with buttons and do it that style. And then the other style is with the zipper, which I don't want anything to do with right now. Okay. And the pillow form should say what size the pillow form is supposed to be. Pillow form is supposed to be an 18-inch pillow form. Or 18 inches, so border would make it too big. Okay. Even if you put like a 1/2 inch border around it, you think it would? You could make the pillow form a little bit bigger, right? Backing could be blue also. That's a great idea, actually. That's a really good idea. Okay, so that's where I am on that. And we will carry on to the next slide for this one. So I can either work on, uh-oh, I lost the camera. When did I lose the camera? Sorry, guys. Let me fix my technology. Okay, we're back. I don't know what happened to it. Why it shut off. Okay, so I was thinking I could either work on some more string stuff, or would y'all like me to work on some more of the exits? Which would you be interested in? Oh, I got invited to something? Okay. Let me see what y'all said in the chat. Yeah, yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's got a lot of similar colors in it, doesn't it? You don't have, uh, Katie, you don't have the full form then. No, I don't. I'm going to make one. I have the filler to go in it and everything. I'm just going to make one. I have one that's 24 inches. An inch or 1.5 inch extra shouldn't be too much. You could always buy a 20-inch pillow form if you want the border bigger. Do what inspires you. My iPad died. It doesn't last long anymore. Well, the phone died and it was plugged in, so I don't know what happened. Maybe I accidentally bumped it or something. The phone, the one where you, that one, where my hands covering the lens, that one is like 7 years old. Okay, let's see, what do I want to do? I'm trying to find something so I can just make a decision on what I'm going to do. I'll tell you what I do. I'll show you this box I got for cotton cuts, and then we'll work on something else. Okay, this is supposed to be classic cut, but it's not the usual classic cut box you've been seeing me show you because number one, it doesn't have 12 fat quarters in it. It has 6 half-yard pieces in it. And I'm not sure which line of boutiques it's from because they didn't put the label on it. So I'm gonna take it out of the box. And it comes like this, or this one came like this. So basically these are 6 half-yard pieces. So we have a pink, and the camera thinks it's purple. Check that out. So this is a pink, not a lilac. The camera is making it look purple. Except for the phone one. See, the phone one's showing it as pink. Isn't that funny? So this is a half a yard of batik. And then the next one looks like this. Okay, this is another one. There you go. Look how colorful that one is. Wow, that's pretty. Then we have a blue. Now we have an orange. And the last one is a different color blue. I like these little curves they have on this one. If I pressed it, it would really look, yeah, if I pressed them, you could really see the design. So this is 6 half yards that came in this box. I think I'm going to work on one of my PMQs instead. The one called Hope. Because I was already working on it anyway. I just got to remember where I left off at. All right. Let me press these real quick. If you got, all right, let me see what's going on. Are these choices for a pillow? You mean the fabric? No, it came in one of my, it came in my classic cut box. Here's a box I hadn't shown you. I like a square of that flower one, which, yeah. Well, you probably can find it over on Cotton Cut's shop page. Hi, Sarah Stitches. I like the loopy flower bag. I would like to buy some of that one. Go over to Cotton. Let me, wait a minute. Let me share a link. So you know where to go. Hang on a second. Let me go fetch it. I'm gonna fetch it. Let's fetch it. Okay. Shop. Fabric by the yard. Or you can buy it smaller if you want. Okay. This is for Cotton Cuts. There we go. Okay. All right. I need to press some of these blocks and stuff so because they got kind of things got laid on top of them and wrinkled a couple of them. So let me get them pressed out so I can get them sewn. Okay, so this is cut. This might be extra pieces here maybe. Get these blocks pressed out. And I'll show you the ones I've gotten so far on this particular one. Because this is clue number 2. I think this little quilt top is going to be beautiful. And I'm excited about making it because I'm going to give it to my sister, who is a survivor of breast cancer. Can everybody hear me okay? I've been thinking maybe I should invest in a mic, but I haven't done it yet. Because I don't know what kind of mic I should buy. Okay, we got those pressed. And I think these might be extra pieces, but I'm not for sure. So let me show you the ones I have done so far. Let me show you the colorway first. This is the colorway. It's weird how one camera sees this different than the other one. Okay. So I had to make 8 of these. So let me make sure I have all 8 done. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I have 8 done of those. All right, so I'm gonna set those aside. Now this one, I'm not sure which one. D is the red. D is that light pink. Okay. I'm going to set these pieces aside for right now because I'm not sure what's going on here. All right, so let's get to building. All right. So I've made 8 of the ones I've already shown you. So now what we're going to do is make 8 using E, which is this color. This is E, the red. We're going to make 8 of these with, or we're going to turn them into flying geese. So let me get 8 of them out. 4, 6, 8. Okay. And then we're going to, the geese part of it is going to be D, which is pink. So it's this color. So we'll go ahead and start sewing them on. All right, let's get started. Okay, let me backtrack real quick and read everything that's been going on. Yeah, Sassy didn't show up. Sorry, guys, I have no idea what happened to her. I had a knee replacement a week ago, and PT is kicking my butt, says Sarah Stitches. I hope you heal fast. Patty says, has anyone seen the new wool mats that fit an entire ironing board? I haven't. I don't even own a wool mat. I don't know. I was so excited when I saw the pattern I got. I guess I should go look, talking about the size of the pattern. And Patty says, oh, no, Sarah, keep up the good work. It helps. I had one about 5 years ago, and I needed it replaced, and the other knee, too. It's painful. Hello there, Jamie. Is it Jamie or Leon? No, Liana. I'll get this right eventually. Hey, Liana, how are you? I can't wait to get my kit from Cotton Cuts. Yep, it's going to be lots of fun, Cherry. Robin says, Frank, I don't think it's big enough, so I'll have to figure out how to make it bigger. Sarah's waving. Joyce says, Robin, I have a very thick notebook of patterns I saw, liked, bought that could last me for 1 to 2 years of projects. Frank says, I think it would drive me nuts. Frank, I just figured out how much fabric I'm going to need for the Amish Lights Bargello. Robin, I need a bunch of firecrackers to get me going. Hey, Joy, start with a very small project, a small block or something, and see if that doesn't trigger your creative juices and get you back up running. Sassy has been having a lot of power outages, okay? All right, let's start with one side of getting these sewn on. So we're going to make 8 of them. I think I'm gonna like this quilt top better than the other one. The other one I'm doing is Secret Garden, and I thought I was going to love it, but I don't know. The jury is currently out on that one. Did you guys see that today was the first day for row one of the Sugary Do Bernina quilt along that Bernina's hosting and going to give sewing machine away on? Um, hang on a second. Let me see if the bot has my Sugary Do link. I am going to participate, but I haven't made a decision on whether I wanted to do pre-recorded sewings of me making it, or if I just want to enjoy the process and just show you guys each month of each row that I complete. Um, Actually, let's make a poll. Okay, I'm starting a poll, and all you guys have to. What's going on? Uh-oh, I must have made something too long. Okay, let's try it. Still too many? Come on. So this is for the Sugary Do Bernina cow. So I'm starting the poll, and y'all let me know which would you prefer, or what you're up for anyway. Frank, my best friend, tells me you're crazier than a naughty word. Do your own sewing and then show us what you have been up to with them. Okay? I tried everything. When I feel better, I catch up on other household things. However, I think I might be able to sew in the next couple of days if I keep going in this direction. Frank said, heard that before Rob and myself, I still ride a Harley in Ocala. My brother has a Harley. Okay. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finger press these and then go ahead and start sewing the other side on, and then I'll take them to the iron. Stay tuned for a pre-record that I'm going to be premiering in the next day or two. Y'all are going to love it, I think. Maybe it'll be part unboxing and part creating from that box. Why does that sound weird? Because the thread didn't pick up for some reason. That's interesting. Because it looks like there's still thread on the bobbin, so I see what's happened. That's why it sounded weird. It came off the needle. I'm thinking about making a video of cleaning my Janome. What do y'all think about that? I just got to figure out how to get all of the angles of the camera in the right spot while I'm doing it, so that you're not just seeing fingers, but you're actually seeing me clean it. And also, here's an update. I don't remember if I told you the story about the first time a pin fell down inside of this Janome, and I thought so I belong to a Janome group on Facebook, and I went in there talking about how the needle had fallen through and I couldn't get to it, blah blah blah. And one of the women directed me to a web page where I could actually download the servicing manual for this Janome. And so I went through the manual, and it tells you how to take the bottom off of the machine after you lay it on its side, and you can clean down below while it's, whoa, what's going on here? Something's, all right, you guys, I'm having trouble with the machine. Hold on a minute. It might be telling me it's time to clean it now. Let me try rethreading it one more time. Because this machine never gives me trouble, except if it's dirty. And it could be, that's what this is going on now, is it's telling me, hey, you haven't cleaned me in a while. Which is true, I haven't. I've had like 3 projects going on at the same time, and I just haven't took the time to, I was gonna wait until I ran out of bobbin and then clean it when I change the bobbin out. Why are you giving me trouble? Okay, let's try again. See what happens. Okay, this time it looks like it went. So let's try again. Yeah, one more of these before I switch to the other side. Okay. Nice, Robin. You're coming along on that. Do you get tired of making them when you have to make that many of them? Okay. Just back up underneath there for my leader. And let's get these all pressed. Finger pressed. Okay. I think my state is turning into a northern snowbird state instead of it being a hodgepodge of southern folks. All right. And I am going to be opening the seams on these because I want them to be as flat as possible, because there's always multiple seams coming together on these PMQs. For the most part, it happens that way. So I prefer doing it this way because I really like being able to stay within the realm of being close to being consistent with my points. Sarah says she's from Ohio. Land lover. Or is that Iowa that's the land lover? Farm boy, farm girl. Pennsylvania is beautiful in the fall. Yeah, I bet it is. I want to go to Tennessee in the fall just so I can see all the fall color. Maybe Tennessee and one of those New England states that has such beautiful fall foliage. Hello to Buckeye Sarah. Frank says he wants to get back to the hills of Pennsylvania. Patty says, I just cleaned my machine like that a couple days ago. Very easy. I was surprised at how much lint collects between the feed dogs. I know, right? What I want to know is, it does dust collect up here? Because the thread runs through this housing. So I'm wondering if it collects dust here as well. Anyone ever took their housing off to check it? All right, we got one more, and then I'll be ready to start sewing the other side on this flying geese unit. And then we'll go over to the iron and press them. Okay. See what time it is. Okay, we've been on for an hour and a half now. Okay, now then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sew the pink on the other side. Okay, and then we will have 8 finished flying geese. All right. Sarah says, come visit me. I live right south of the Blue Ridge Parkway. Man, the Blue Ridge Mountains are beautiful. I tell you what else is beautiful is Yosemite. My goodness. I could just sit in that forest and never leave it. I would just be totally in heaven just sitting there. The whole forest has its own smell and atmosphere. And those trees are so enormous. Our planet has such beautiful natural things about it. That's just what I love about Earth and its foliage and stuff. It's always so beautiful. Frank says, I was 30 minutes south or so of Birminghampton, New York. I've been to Catskills, New York, and I stayed in a cabin on Amber Lake. I have never seen so much deer in my life as up in that area. But the Catskills sure is pretty. Wonder why they call it Catskills. So you were close to Deposit, New York. New York. We have 2 more after I do this, and we'll have 2 more left to do. And then I'll finger press and then take them over to the iron and press them really nice and flat. And then we'll have that section done. And this last one's going on. Hey, Joanne Lucas, how are ya? Okay, got those 8 done. Now I'm going to finger press them and then put the roller on them. And then I will take them over to the iron for one more step. Let's get them nice and flat. Robin is asking Frank, where are you at? I'm at is about the same distance. As a kid, we needed to go if we needed to go anywhere for concerts or anything, we had to go into Pittsburgh, about 30 minutes away from Rogers, Ohio. Oh, interesting. You know, I've never been to a concert, you guys. No concert. Uh-oh. What's going on here? We have a short. I need to fix this one. It's too narrow. I never went to a concert because I was afraid. I had never been around that kind of a atmosphere, and I didn't, you know, I knew nothing about it, and I didn't want to go by myself. And the music I wanted to go see at a concert, one in particular, I couldn't find anyone that wanted to go see it with me because they were not a Styx fan, and I was totally down on Styx. Still am. But wouldn't hurt my feelings if I got to go to a Bon Jovi concert and pay high price ticket just so I could be on the front row. Because me and him are the same age and born in the same month. Only his birthday was almost 3 weeks ahead of mine in March. So we're both March babies and 1962 babies. And I think he is just the coolest person on the planet. Him and his wife. Did you guys know that? I bet you didn't know this little piece of information. Did you know that Bette Midler has had a concert here in Greenland in the past? Nikolai said he was quite young when that happened. She came to Greenland to sing. Cool, Sarah. You've seen sticks in concert? Oh my God, which show did you go watch? Was it Paradise Theater one or one way before that one, or this is still wrong, which means I need to move it up, looks like. Or was it Mr. Roboto? Frank says, did security for Nazareth at Fred's Woodshed in Tioga, Pennsylvania. Oh, that's so cool. So, Sarah, was it Sarah that said which of the six songs is your most favorite song? Which one is, well, why don't you tell me two of them? What are the two songs you like the most from Styx? And then I'll tell you what two I like. Well, I could tell you three or four of them, but yeah. There's two though three of them actually that are my top ones that I love hearing because all three of them have different meanings. My last concert was at Greensboro. Oh wow, Paul McCartney. Oh, that's so cool. Sarah says Babe. Frank says Madam Blue, Man in the Wilderness. Sarah says Borrowed Time. Oh, there's some great songs. The three that I like the most is Come Sail Away, Sweet Madam Blue, and Too Much Time on My Hands. The rest of them I love too, of course. The first time I heard, oh, that's for a different band, never mind. I used to when I was a teenager, um, my very first 45 record was Crocodile Rock by Elton John. And I was buying 45 records instead of albums because they were easy to hide in my parents' house because my parents said that rock and roll was Satan music. And I'm like, how can you call rock and roll that sings about love and everything else Satan music while you're listening to country music talking about getting drunk and someone cheating on someone? I couldn't understand that concept. When all I could feel was joy when I listened to rock and roll. There's just something about it. My husband will tell you that he has seen me going from this little quiet person to sitting on the edge of the bed, bouncing up and down to music. I'm watching something on the TV. And he gets a big laugh out of it because I'm sitting there bouncing on the bed with a big smile on my face. Music has been one of the ways music was one of the tools I used to get me through some bad times. Music and gardening. Okay, I got all of these done. Now all I got to do is make sure all the seams are pressed open. Oh, really? So let's get these seams pressed with the roller, and then I'll go over to the iron and press them. Hey, Candace. Stephanie's not here. Queen of Spades. Yep. My husband likes Twisted Sister. My husband's a big concert junkie. He loves to go to concerts when we were young. It used to be like $10 a ticket. Yeah, I know. I just didn't have anyone that would go with me because I was a chicken, scaredy cat. I didn't know if I could handle being squished in amongst everybody else and, being pushed and touched and, all those kind of things. Because I have a problem with that on airplanes. I don't like people touching me. Only if I now if it's a hug, I'll take a hug any day. Hey, Melissa, how are you? It's good to see so many of you. I haven't seen you in so long. My Nikolai found out his dad has cancer. So while he's in Denmark, he's trying to get, go over and get, see his dad while he can. They say it's a curable cancer, so we're hoping that everything goes well after his surgery. They've been treating him with chemo right now. Man, I miss the good old days. Seen and partied with Dio for $10 in '97, I think. The '80s and '90s were definitely '70s, '80s, and '90s maybe were definitely decades worth of all the best music that had come out back then. Skinner tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Cool. All right, let's get them pressed with the iron. All right, we're almost there. Okay, so here's what they look like. So this is the second set to be made. So now we have 8 that look like this and 8 that look like this. So let me get them all put together where they're being laid flat so that nothing happens. And then we'll see what the directions want us to make next. And get them over here and put in a pile so they don't go anywhere, get lost. Okay, now the directions wants us to sew D. We're going to make 8 more. So there, this is D, this light pink. And it wants us to sew B to it. So this is B. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Was that beep your iron, Katie? I want to make sure not my carbon monoxide alert. It sounds like it's in my house. Yeah, it's my iron making that beeping noise, and I have no clue how to turn it off. Melissa, I finished my to those of you that just came in, I finished sewing together my this one's called Maze. This is a laundry basket's pillow top pattern, and it's going to be turned into a pillow. So this was what I started the live with, and got the rest of the rows all sewn together. So now they're all one piece. So the next go around, we are going to be quilting the sandwich, and then the next go around after that will be where we put the whole thing together as a pillow. And right now I'm working on clue 2 of my tree of life called Hope. It's in honor of breast cancer survivors. And I'm making it for my sister. So when I get it finished and get it sent off to quilt, because I'm probably going to have someone else quilt it for me, so it's really nice. And then I'm going to send it to her. She lives in Spain. And I'm hoping that this will lighten her spirit, because she's kind of, I don't know, she's not talking to anyone right now. And I don't have time to get on a plane and go to Spain. I would if I had to, but I really don't want to. Not yet, anyway. I want to go so that we can have fun, you know? So this is having me sew 8 more. So we will have made a total of 24 flying geese when I finish this next set. Lots of flying geese. I'm turning that the wrong direction, I think. I didn't know there was such thing as a carbon monoxide alert. I know you have fire detectors, because we have a couple in here. Half the time I have to keep the one unplugged in the living room, because when I'm cooking, sometimes the cooking sets it off because they're too close together in proximity. And that loud noise just is deafening. Denise says, those colors are so pretty together. Are you able to have visual phone calls with your sister? If I could pin her down for one, but she's not answering anything, not even the text message. What's happened is she was doing really good after her breast cancer surgery. She was in remission. I don't remember how many years she was having to take the medicines that they had given to them to keep cancer from coming back. But she had finally been weaned off of that. And then and my sister, let me tell you what, you guys, my youngest sister thinks she's invincible. So, and you're going to be going, what do you mean by that? Well, I'll tell you two different stories. The first one has to do right before she moved to Spain, about a year or so before, maybe 2 years, maybe, I don't know. My sister, my middle sister, had a horse, and the horse was afraid of everything. And she told Karen, the younger sister, if you're going to ride my horse, you stay inside the fenced pasture with her, because any little thing sets her off and she turns into this maniac of a horse. And I think the horse had suffered abuse from the hands of previous owners, and that's how Cheryl came about getting her. And Cheryl was working with her, trying to get her to calm down and not be so fearful of humans. But one day, Karen being Karen, she went to ride the horse, and she took off down the road with the horse. And where the horse was being boarded was out in the middle of Osceola National Forest. And what that means is it's in the middle of nowhere. The only time you see vehicles is logging trucks and things like that. So she went riding a horse, and she was on the side of the road with the horse, and a big, huge logging truck come flying by them, and the horse reared up and fell over backwards on my sister. Now, the logging truck didn't see what happened because he was flying. And luckily, someone come along and saw the horse standing there with no rider, and they got out of the car and looked, and they found my sister. When the horse fell on top of her, it broke her pelvis in 4 different places. So she spent a long time in traction and rehab and all that. So to come forward to the future, she likes to ride. She still rides horses, of course, but this accident she had nothing to do with her horse. She's retired her horse. She likes to ride bikes, her and her husband. And she was riding her bike one afternoon by herself, and she saw this little hill and decided she was going to jump that hill. And when she came down on the other end, she wrecked her bike, and the bike broke 3 of her ribs and punctured the implant. So an ambulance came and got her, and they had to do surgery to take the implant out so that all those fluids weren't being absorbed by her body. And then a couple days later, they had to take her into surgery because one of the ribs, the way it was broken, required surgical help. During the surgery, my sister woke up in the middle of the surgery. And she told, and I didn't know all of this had gone on. All I knew was she had stopped talking to me. And then when I got a hold of my niece, and I said, what is going on with your mom? And she told me part of the story. And I said, so that's why she's ignoring the phone, is she's not talking to people? She says, Mom's not right in her head right now. So I said, well, you tell her I want to talk to her, because I care. And so Karen finally called me. And we talked for a little while on the phone, and she told me that when she woke up in the surgery, it triggered all of the past history of what all 3 of us girls grew up in. So basically, it triggered all the past abuses from childhood. and she's been struggling ever since. She's not talking to people. She's not getting out around people. I do know that she's started therapy because my niece told me that she started doing that. But she had told me that Karen's just mentally not doing all that well right now. So I thought what I would do is I signed up for this because I have 2 PMTs for this Tree of Life. And I thought, well, why don't I make her a hope quilt and send it to her when I get it finished and see if that won't help lighten her spirit a little bit. So that this is going to be for her. Denise says they sell combo fire carbon monoxide detectors as well as the separate function ones. Oh. Why do you have carbon monoxide detectors in your house? Is there some reason why you need to have them? Let's see what the poll says. Wow, it's pretty tight. Pre-recorded each row, 53%. Just the finished row, 47%. Okay. And that was out of 19 votes. All right, I'm going to press these open, and then I am going to take them over the iron and press them first before I sew the other side on. That way I'm not having this little issue of something getting turned the wrong way. Wow, that's a lot to go through. I understand why she's being elusive, though. I spent 10 years doing that because of pain. Yeah. You know, us girls, I know nobody likes talking about this kind of thing, but all 3 of us have been through hell and back. And all 3 of us have managed to survive all of it. We haven't come away free from scars and triggers, but we're not drinkers. We don't do drugs. We haven't resorted to doing all those things to blot out what's happened to us. And my brother, you know, he has a completely different reality of what it was like when he was growing up because he's 12 years younger than me. And when my dad got that boy, the sun and the moon set with my brother. So he didn't get treated the way we did. Okay, let me press these real quick and then I'll be right back. All right, now let's get the other side sewn on and then these will be done also. me see here. Melissa says, yes, in case there's an issue with the furnace. Do you have a fuel-driven furnace that's inside your house? Or are you like me, you have a boiler room that's in the basement and a boiler heats the water to heat the house? Because we have heated flooring in our house. We switched to heated flooring back in 2019, I think, is when we did it, somewhere around that time frame. So we've had it for a little while now. The only room that doesn't have heated flooring in it is our cold room. The cold room has a radiator in it, but the radiator hasn't worked for a long time, and we're fine with it not working because we keep different things in that cold room that could, you know, stay cool, and it's dark. There's no windows in it. So it's basically a room that stays in the dark except when we turn the lights on to do something, and it stays chilled in there at the same time. So I can store, you know, canned goods and things like that, along with, you know, things like my fabric and, you know, just different things that we use that room for. Nikolai stores his Legos in there. Ah, gas furnace. Our boiler is run by fuel oil. It's something like diesel, I think, similar anyway. I really wish we didn't have to even use fossil fuel to heat the house, but solar will not work in the winter months here because there's no sunlight. And they don't have electric heaters because I guess electric heaters can't keep up with the cold. I'm not exactly sure if that's the reason or not. And I haven't found anyone where I could ask that exact question, is why boilers versus electric heating inside people's houses here in the Arctic. Unless it's a European thing. Because I would prefer to have a heat pump and screw having fuel. Because our electricity comes from a hydropower plant. There's a big waterfall up the fjord from here. But they do have a backup diesel generator for the town in case power goes out. And basically, it's a really huge ship engine that they turned into a generator. And it's the most pristine engine I think I have ever seen. There is not a dirty spot on that engine anywhere. No oil leaks, nothing. It's like it's never been run. They test run it, and we've run out of power a couple times during a, you know, something would knock the power out, which doesn't have in the almost 13 years I've lived here. The power's been knocked out for maybe 3 times in those 13 years, and the power stayed off for maybe 30 or 40 minutes, and then it was back up and running again. So whatever they're doing to keep the power from going down during what we call a bitter rock wind, it holds up to the bad weather. And the power lines don't get knocked on the ground around here with that high wind. It's the oddest thing I've ever seen. The first time when I first started living here and we got that first wind, it scared me because I could feel the house vibrating. And I told Nikolai, I'm like, the roof is going to come off the house. He says, no, it won't. How do you know? I know. The next morning when I walked out there after it was finished, no one was missing a roof. So these houses are built to withstand Arctic winds, and so are the power lines. You may have seen a movie or two where someone shoves a garden hose, and yeah, I've seen that. But the fumes can also enter the house and kill those inside. I just didn't know that carbon monoxide could get in your house. Unless it was like what you were just describing by a car. All right, we got this last one to put on here, and then I can press them, and then we will have all 24 of these done. You're trying to outlaw gas in California. I'm just afraid of the lithium batteries, and electricity isn't cheaper than gas. If people don't start taking care of our planet, there's not going to be anything to be taken care of, though, Denise. I think that the going battery, using batteries and things to run vehicles and stuff. I think that's just going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of technology has to grow where it's more efficient, and you're not worrying about things like lithium batteries blowing up, or all those kind of things. I think that we're in the younger stages of trying to go green, but it's going to take time, I think, and to get it right so that you don't worry about all these things that could go wrong because of it. Fuel oil is colored diesel. Oh, okay. I know it smells a lot like diesel, so I was wondering about that. And fuel went up this time. Usually it hadn't gone up in a long time, but it also could have something to do with we finally got our fuel tank, the old fuel tank switched out for the new one. And the new one, oh my God, you guys, that thing holds 1,100 liters of fuel. It's huge. So they put 1,100 liters in our tank when they switched it. About 6,000 Danish kroners for that. All right, let me get these pressed, and then I'll show them to you. Nora, stop. Nora is trying to dig into the carpet. I don't know why she's doing that. I think she wants to get up underneath it. Because she's a burrowing kind of dog, aren't you? Okay, now let's get them flipped over so I can just gently press them, and then I'll show it to you. All right, so here is the third one. Coat is okay. He's he has slowed down a lot, but he seems okay. We haven't made the final decision yet of when we're planning to do the thing that I don't want to do, but I just know that if we decide to not do it and wait it out and see what happens, we're going to have to go ahead and dig a hole and then cover it with something so that if something were to happen in the winter months, we would be able to put him gently into the ground and not have to worry about anything happening to him, because we're going to put him in the same spot or put him next to his first best friend, Ichi, because she's in she's buried in the front yard, and we're going to put him next to her. Okay, let me see what time it is. Uh-oh, we have now Melissa, he can no longer, he hasn't been able to eat kibble for the last 4 years now. No kibble, none, even high quality kibble. There's something in the kibble ingredient itself that he's allergic to. We've tried grain free, we've tried going just seafood style expensive kibble. None of that has worked. It always triggers another episode of his body purging itself both ways, and then he can hardly get off the floor, and his eyes look all like they're going to fall out. It's just scary seeing him that way. And then he had an episode less than a year ago where I thought I heard vomiting going on, and when I walked in the hallway, I about fell over. The whole entire foyer floor was covered in blood. And it was all coming from the backside. And I could tell he was in pain. I don't know what was causing it. It went on for 3 or 4 days, and I thought he was going to die then. And he didn't. I went ahead and took all his food away from him, left water down for him, and I fasted him for 3 days while this was all going on. And then he stopped, and then it took him about a week to get back on his feet again. And he hasn't had an episode since, but he walks around really slow now. I did take him to the lake, by the way, and he actually walked into the water. So I should have took the ball to see if he was willing to fetch or not. But that little outing to the lake kind of lifted his spirits a bit, I think, because they both were in the water the whole time pretty much. He didn't go swimming like out like he usually does, but usually I have to throw something in the lake for him to go fetch it. Now his back end, as far as his hips are concerned, um, I don't think that he's dysplastic. I don't think he has dysplasia because he's not, the symptoms he has that shows pain. I think it's just the age thing. Like, you know, when we get in our 70s, some of us develop osteoporosis or arthritis or any of those bone diseases. And I think that because he was an active dog where he was swimming constantly every summer for hours at a time, it could have worn the joints out a little bit. So I think that's what that is. But this digestive thing is the biggest complication of everything. And I don't feel like that he's getting better. His coat is telling me he's not. The coat feels like straw kind of, and he's been spending a long time this go around blowing his coat. So I don't know. All right. So I am going to come to a stopping point. I've sewed all three of those. Let me show you all three of them together and how they're going to look when you sew them together. Red and two. So I'm going to put them in the order that I have to sew them in when I start sewing them together. So you can see what it's going to look like. Okay, so these three have, the set has to be sewn together like this. So this is what it's going to look like when I sew it together. Frank, it's not going to undo what's happening unless people really get aggressive. I mean, the ice cap here, see, the ice cap covers about 80% of Greenland. Well, they're about to change that to like 72%. The percentage is about to change because there's been a reduction, a huge reduction. But the biggest part of the reduction has been happening in South Greenland and the extreme northern part of the ice cap. Believe it or not, up there in Qaqortoq, where part of the ice cap is at, that part of the ice cap has reduced even faster than the 3 or 4 parts of the ice cap that we can go by boat 2 hours away to see. Because now all of those have reduced and they're shrinking up to the, moving back toward the mountain. The ice cap part that's in Ulysses, on the other hand, is still, it's losing a lot of ice, but it's not creating a negative impact yet. But the entire ice sheet no longer has a blanket on it, no protection from the sun in the summer months. And you're going to say, well, why is that? Well, because instead of snowing during the winter months, when we're supposed to be getting snow, we are getting rain. And you're like, well, what's the big deal about rain? Well, the big deal about rain is not supposed to happen in Greenland. Snow is supposed to happen in Greenland. And so we're having the opposite effect. So basically all that warm water is falling on top of the ice cap is causing it to melt also. And it creates these little indentions in the top of the ice cap. And the water will take on this turquoise blue color. And when the sun hits it, instead of bouncing off, it's soaking into those deeper colored waters, which warms that water, and it's having it, and the water drains into crevices. And there's a name for this other thing. It looks like a big long tunnel that goes down through the ice cap, and it ends up underneath the ice cap. So all this warm water that was up here drains down through the ice cap up underneath it, and it settles up underneath the ice cap, and it's melting that part of the ice cap also. So there's that too. And If all the ice melted in Greenland, all of it, this island would look like a archipelago. So the whole center of Greenland is this really big lake that's up underneath the ice cap, and it's humongous. They said that the depth of it is deeper than the Grand Canyon, if that tells you anything. And so if all the ice is gone, we would be living on the outer edge just like we already are. All right, does anyone have any questions they want to ask me or anything you want to tell me about? I do have a question for you guys, and I want y'all to be honest. Are you guys happy with what I've been putting up on my YouTube? I mean, I'm doing my best to get better at it, but are most of y'all happy with it for the most part? I kind of would like to see what kind of feedback you have about it. I know that's putting you on the spot. Unless you don't want to answer the question. No one? Glucosamine is good for arthritis. My vet had me give that to my dermatologist. Yeah, I had him on glucosamine. I need to order some more because I ran out of it. He seemed like it helped him a little bit. So I think that that would be a good thing. When I'm asking this about how y'all feel about my channel, I wasn't because I wanted you to hit my thumbs up. I wanted to know if you're happy with what you're watching, and should I, because I don't want to put any, if you're bored, there's no point in me doing this, is what I'm saying. Hey, Deb S., how are you? I am very busy and I would not be here if I wasn't happy. Okay, Andrea. That's what I wanted to know, is if you're really getting into it. I'm going to drop my first pre-record tutorial. It's going to be part tutorial, part unboxing. So when the unboxing will start at the beginning, but make sure you watch it all the way through because you'll see me sewing a block and the finished block out of the fabric that comes out of the box that I'll be unboxing. So it's all part one video. I'm editing the video right now. And I just need to fix the introduction because I think it sounded a little, I don't know what it sounded like, but I need to remake the introduction to explain what the video is going to be about and why I'm doing the video. So I will give you a hint on what this is about. About a month and a half ago, Cotton Cuts approached me to offer me a chance to ambassador one of their subscription boxes. It's not ambassador for a PMQ though. It is for their Modern Maker box. So I'll be doing it for 6 months. And each box will be the same kind of format as what you're going to see in this first video of me unboxing it, telling you what it's about, talking about the color challenge, then making a block. And also, I haven't done this yet, but I will take the time and make a small mini quilt out of what's left of the Modern Maker fabric. And that way you can see how it looks, when I do it. But that will be a separate project down the road that will get put into a pre-recorded video so that if you want to watch it, you can. If you don't have to. But it'll give you an idea. So I'll be 6 months doing this. So yeah. And after you've watched the first one, maybe y'all can give me feedback in the description box on how I could make it better, what I should work on. Tectonic shifts. Oh, you mean to? I don't think Greenland has any tectonic plates. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. I don't think there is a tectonic plate sitting underneath Greenland that I know of. Iceland's full of them. Iceland's turned into one big volcanic mess right now, which I would love to get on an airplane just to go see the volcano. I just don't know if my lungs would allow for me to do that. To me, with all the channels, when they all run together at the same time, can be a little chaotic for me. But you podcasters can't help that. I also watch my many podcasts other than quilting. Joy, since you brought that up, when I don't know if all of the rest of the creators look at their analytics of when most viewers watch videos. And I noticed on my analytics, the time frame that most people are watching my videos are happening early in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, some of them. Then there's a gap like from 10 a.m. to like 1 o'clock in the afternoon where no one's hardly watching anything. And then after like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, all the way up to 12 a.m. seems to be the busiest time for people watching my videos. So I want to get these pre-records where they're not competing with lives, you know, so that you guys have time to watch them, because I know all of y'all are busy and you have no idea how much I appreciate all of you who have worked so hard to help bring my watch hours up. I'm so close to that sweet spot for watch hours and for views. And when I hit that sweet spot, I think my channel will finally start growing like it should, like everybody else's does, because I've kind of stalemated out on parts of it. I'm not unhappy that that has happened. It just means I need to work harder. I need to find that one thing that all of y'all love the most to watch. And yeah, and stop having such long lives. I really need to work on that. 3 hours is too long for some people. But if I can get it down to like an hour and a half to 2 hours, I think that all of y'all are fine with that. Okay, let me read what else you said. I could send you my new pattern if you would like to do a video of it for me to include. Yes, Andrea, please do. I'd be happy to do one for you. Joanne says, I love cotton cuts. Me too. Joy T says, to me, with all the channel, I already read that one. Joanne says, you got this, Kate. Thank you. Joy says, I love unboxings, but I love unboxing. I will definitely watch. Robin says, you worry too much. Yeah, you're right. I do. Joy says, probably because they are working or getting up later in the morning. Andrew says, I usually watch what I have missed when everyone else is sleeping and nothing else is on. And Robin says, really, Katie, you are doing great. Thank you, guys. Let me ask you something. I thought about doing there's nights when I can't sleep. Like last night, I should have got up and just sewed, because I was waking up every 35, 45 minutes. And when I got up today, I didn't feel very good at all. I didn't feel good. On those nights when I can't sleep, what would y'all think about it after midnight? I would call it late night with Katie or something like that, and just come on live because I don't think I'll have a set day of doing it. I think I'll just come on live, and if y'all happen to be awake, you are, and if you're not, you're not. You know what I mean? What do y'all think about that too? Katie, if you find joy in what you do, others will too. I enjoy what I'm doing. If you pre-record it does anytime people watch it affect your stats? Yes. The more people watch, the more my stats go up. The less people watch, it drops it down. It's subscribers numbers are important, but what I'm learning right now is the subscribers doesn't really, it's like putting on a fancy new dress to go to the opera. That's how you can liken subscriptions, numbers. But watch hours and viewer numbers is where which pushes your channel to grow more. Laura says, today has been a rough day for me. I have migraines and today is a bad day. I hope you get to feeling better, Laura. Joanne says, I think that's great. Okay. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate that. All right, so stay tuned in the next day or two for my pre-record from Cotton Cuts Modern Maker Box. Remember, I'm doing a tutorial behind opening the box, so keep that in mind. At least I didn't drag out the tutorial to turn into some really long video. That's not what I did. I sewed one part of it, Then I pre-sewed the other 3 parts of it because it was done in quadrants. And then I actually sewed the whole block together on the pre-record. So that's what you're going to see. Hello, Pastry Queen. How are you? I'm good. Yeah, that's okay, Laura. Frank says, I think you're doing great, Katie. Love the community. Thank you. Joy says, I watch several podcasts during the middle of the night. I don't sleep much. Three are unboxing videos. Okay. Katie, I have to get back to you. It's been a heck of a week. Oh, well, I hope it gets better for you. All right. So thank you for coming tonight. Stay tuned for the pre-record live. It'll be the first one with it. It's actually going to be my first tutorial built into the unboxing. So I'm really hoping that y'all like the tutorial. So if you have time to give me feedback down below the description box of the pre-record, please do. Let me know what you thought about it, what I could work on to make it better, what I should leave out that I put in there that's not needed. All this kind of feedback will help me fine-tune a pre-record so there's not so that it doesn't turn into something overly long that you're like, oh my God, I'm bored, I'm leaving. You know, that kind of thing. Or you don't have time to watch that long of a video. You know, so I need to have feedback to know what to tweak and what to leave alone and what to not put in there at all. And I have an idea for my second tutorial before I get the next box. I think I'm going to do a pre-cuts tutorial about 2.5-inch strips, the charm pack, the mini charm pack, the layer cake, the 6.5-inch, they're calling bacon strips. I think what I'm going to do a tutorial and explain how you can take yardage and do the same thing. You know, explain the sizes of each of the pre-cuts and then show you by doing it myself, cutting pre-cuts from yardage so that you can see, well, you could also make pre-cuts from yardage that you bought. And I thought that might make a cool little tutorial and it won't be too terribly long either. So anyway, so thank you, Glenda. Robin's letting the pups out. Anything else y'all want to bring up or ask me about, or you have a comment about that you want to share? Frank says, have a good evening. Stay well and be well. Stay safe and be well. Same to you, Frank. All right, well, then we're going to close this. Thank you for coming to the live. Make sure you live, laugh, love, dream, and make sure you create. Bye, everyone.